Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Amanda, and in today's Crocktober video, I'm going to be sharing 3 delicious crockpot meals with you. This is actually going to be my last Crocktober video of the month of October, but I was thinking about continuing to do cooking videos with you guys every Friday, whether it is a crockpot meal or a casserole, and I love me a casserole. I was thinking about continuing to do the crockpot or cooking videos with you guys. If you want to see that, if you want to see specific things, let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. I'd love for you to subscribe and stick around. Enough gabbing, grab your crockpot and let's get cooking. So our first recipe is going to be chili. So you will need 2 pounds of ground meat, whatever you want, some garlic, chili powder, cumin, ground oregano, and paprika. You will also need an onion, chipotles and adobo sauce, 1 can of rotel, 1 can of kidney beans, and 1 can of tomato sauce. Now I'm going to take my 2 pounds of meat here and get it cooked in the pan. And like I mentioned, you can use any that you want. I'm using sausage and ground beef. Now that the meat is cooked and drained, I'm going to go ahead and try and carefully put it into the crock pot without making a mess. And here's where you're going to start adding in your canned goods. So first you're going to take 1 can of drained rotel, and then you're going to fill that can up with water and put it in the crock pot. Then you're also going to take your tomato sauce and kidney beans and put that in the crock pot as well. Now you're going to go ahead and add in your onion. Mine are frozen and diced already, so I'm just going to add some as much as I want in there. Now I'm going to start adding in my spices, and I'm going to add a ½ teaspoon of cumin here. I have ground cumin. If you have regular cumin, you can add that as well. And then I am going to take my oregano and paprika and do 2 teaspoons of each in the crock pot as well. Now I'm going to take my garlic here and I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of that into the crock pot. Now here's where things get wild. You are going to take your chili powder, use whatever chili powder you want to, and you are going to put a 1/3 cup of that into your chili. Yes, that sounds like a lot. And when I first made this, I was like, dang, that's a lot of chili powder. But I've been making this for a couple years now, and I have not changed a thing. So do the 1/3 cup of chili powder. You will not regret it. Now I'm going to take my chipotles here, and I have figured out that 3 is just perfect with these here. So I'm going to just take 3 of them, get them all chopped up, and throw those into the crock pot. Now that everything is in there, I'm going to go ahead and get everything mixed up really good, and I'm going to cook mine on low. I had somebody actually comment that if you cook it on high, you can cook it on high for 4 hours or so. You can do that. You guys can cook your meals as long as you want to. I just like to cook mine on low. I like to cook them low and slow as long as I can. So any of my recipes, if you want to cook them on high, you can do so. But now the chili is done. I cook for about 6 hours. My crock pot says 8 to 10. I cook mine for low for 6 hours. Now I'm just getting it served up in my bowl here, and I'm going to add some cheese to it and a sour cream on top. Because I used hot sausage, it is pretty hot, so the sour cream kind of dulls it down a little bit. And then of course I have crackers on the side of mine. Tyler likes to make peanut butter sandwiches with his, but you guys, this chili is absolutely delicious. Like I mentioned, I've been making this for a couple years now and haven't changed a thing. Now for this recipe here, we are making Mississippi chicken. And for this recipe, you will need 1 pound of chicken. I am using boneless, skinless thighs. You will need some pepperoncinis, ranch seasoning, Jus gravy mix, and 1 stick of butter. So this recipe is super easy because you literally just throw everything into your crock pot. So I'm going to go ahead and put my chicken in here, and then I add in my seasoning. With the ranch, if you have a packet, that is awesome. If you don't have the packet and you have the big container like I do, just follow what it says on the back. So you're going to put that in there, and then you're going to put your pepperoncinis and pepperoncini juice in there as well. Add as much as you want to. I kind of eyeballed it. And I will say with the pepperoncinis, I tried to pop the top off of them, but they kept exploding on me. So I just threw them in there. But I highly suggest you take the tops off because I had to dig in the meat to get the tops of the pepperoncinis off because the stem actually does come off of them as it cooks. Or you could get the sliced pepperoncinis, which I did not know that they had. I think that would honestly be a lot better. And then for your stick of butter, you can use a half a stick if you wanted to. I'm just going to use the whole stick and set that on top. Close the lid, cook it low and slow for 6 to 8 hours is what I did. My crock pot says 8 to 10 hours, but I cook it on low for 6 to 8 hours. But you can also cook this on high if you wanted to as well. Now that it's been 6 hours, I'm going to go ahead and take my forks here and shred the chicken up. Now I am making sandwiches with mine. I just put a couple buns under the broiler in the oven. I've seen people put the Mississippi chicken over mashed potatoes, over rice. However you want to make it, I feel like you cannot go wrong. This was actually the first time that we've made this and we really did enjoy it. And I just ended up serving ours with fries on the side and of course some ranch for dipping sauce. For our last recipe here, we are making mushroom wild rice soup. And for this recipe, you will need some flour, vegetable broth, coconut milk, some garlic, 3 sticks of celery. You'll also need 2 medium carrots. I just got the shredded bag of carrots. I'm just going to use as much as I want. I just didn't want to get that huge bag of carrots and then them go to waste. Then you'll need some butter. You'll need 8 ounces of mushrooms, onion, wild rice. I just got the box of it. I couldn't find the actual bag of wild rice, some oregano, and then thyme. You do want fresh thyme, but I totally forgot to pick it up. So I'm just going to use my dried seasoned thyme. And then you will need salt and pepper. Now I thinly sliced 3 stalks of celery. And then I'm going to add in 1 onion, which obviously my onion is already chopped up and frozen. So I'm just going to add as much as I want in there. And then I will add 4 cloves of garlic. I rinsed my mushrooms off and I'm going to go ahead and put those in the crock pot. And then I'm going to put in some carrots as well. I probably used about half of this bag, maybe just a little bit more than half of the shredded carrots. Now I'm going to go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, and then I will do 1 tablespoon of thyme. Like I said, you'll need fresh thyme, but I forgot to pick that up, so I'm just using what I have on hand. And then you will add in your salt and pepper to taste. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in my rice and then my vegetable broth. Now the recipe does call for 4.5 to 5 cups. I could not find like a can of vegetable broth, so I just did the 4 cups and then I did a half cup of water. And then I'm going to give this a mix and cook it on low for 6 to 8 hours. So now you're going to take your 2 tablespoons of softened butter and 2 tablespoons of flour and give it a mix. You're going to kind of turn it into more of like a paste. Now you're going to add this into your crock pot and you are going to add in your coconut milk as well, and you are going to do 1 cup of that. And then you're going to give this a good mix and cook it for another additional 5 minutes. Now let's talk about this recipe. This was actually the first time that I made this and I actually thought it was pretty good. I feel like adding in the flavor packet of the rice would have made it a lot better. And not to upset any of the vegans out there, because this is more of a vegan recipe, I would have added chicken in mine, and I think it would have turned out amazing. Costco actually sells a chicken mushroom wild rice soup right now, and that's kind of where we got this idea, was to make it this way, but I totally forgot about the chicken part of it. But again, I still thought this was super delicious. Next time I make this, I'm going to add the chicken into it and see how I feel about it. If you want to see that, I can redo it again with the chicken. Let me know down in the comments below. But that is going to be it for today's video. If you want to see more cooking videos on Friday, whether it's a crock pot meal or casseroles, let me know down below. And make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one.